Hi, good morning. This is Fred Henning from outofboxwealth.org. I hope you're having a blessed day and you and your family are doing well. And today I wanted to talk about the power of assignment. And when we talk about the power of assignment, it's really evident in a lot of our lives, even when we just take a moment to go over the topic on its own, to think about it. It can be quite a journey through our own timeline and quite an awareness practice to just simply think of the power of assignment. And when I say assignment, I mean any moment when we feel like there has been a assignment applied to who we are, when we are given an assignment. And I like the word assignment simply because the way it is broken down. You can think of it as instructions, like this is what you've been assigned, and it's something that has been offered to you, or something that has been imposed upon you or directed to you, something that maybe somebody directed towards you, and because you desired their approval, you committed to complete the assignment that they gave or that they implied. And sometimes assignments can be implied, either consciously or subconsciously. Sometimes the assignment that we get out of, the situation, sometimes the understanding or the perception that we take out of the situation is inaccurate. It's not true. Sometimes when we're in a situation when we're trying to please someone, or we're trying to gain or maintain someone's approval, we can often misunderstand assignment, yet we still go ahead and apply that assignment to our lives. And so what are examples of assignment? Well, we may assign to ourselves that we are a certain character, that we are a certain type of person. And sometimes that can come from outside, where somebody can say things like, well, you just never listen to what I say, or you never agree with me, or you're just a bad boy, or you're a bad girl, or just something that happens. Usually these assignments can happen in extreme emotions. As a child, we can be in a situation where we do something that upsets someone, and it may be the straw that broke the proverbial camel's back, and then there was an outburst, and then before you know it, there's an assignment upon our lives. Something like, you're never going to amount to anything, or you're never going to be able to finish anything, or you're never going to be happy, or you're never going to be like your father, or you're never going to be like your mother, or you're never going to amount to anything in life, or you're always going to fail, you're always going to struggle, you're just not good enough. Those types of comments become assignments, and they're very broad. They are something that we either agree, usually under duress, to fulfill these assignments, and we end up, fulfilling them in our lives. We end up acting them out because we believed it. We came to a place where we believed, that is my assignment. We start speaking that voice to ourselves. We start speaking that voice to our inner being. And then when we have the assignment, what we do when we accept it and we appropriate it, when we start to live it, when we start to manifest it in our life, we sign it. We sign our name at the dotted line, and it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy that we fulfill in our lives, simply many times through misunderstanding, many times through maybe an authority figure that just wasn't having a good day, or an authority figure who had a limiting assignment placed upon them in childhood. We find that in family. A lot of sometimes things are passed down from generation to generation, and I'm so thankful for Dr. Bruce Lipton's work on epigenetics that shows us that it's not the DNA, it's not the genes that is given to us, it's the epigenetics, it's the environment that we are surrounded by that causes the same thing to manifest in our life. So the good news is that when we recognize the power of assignment and we understand that what is really causing things to manifest and to happen and to occur in our lives is epigenetics. It's the environment around us, the environment that we create, the environment that we accept, the environment that we eventually end up contributing to, that is what causes the manifestation. That's where the power is within our subconscious that uses the power of creation to communicate to the law of attraction, and then that is what brings the results that we experience in our life. So the good news is that when we understand that the energy, that the order, that the instruction comes from the outside, then we recognize that we can change it. We can do a reassignment. We can reassign ourselves. And in reassigning, we can program ourselves to an assignment that is worthy, to an assignment that is worthwhile, to an assignment that is positive, to an assignment that is good. And since there is no limit in the realm of possibility, we can assign ourselves to an assignment of transforming, restoring, healing the entire world through our connection to the collective consciousness, through our agreement with the heart that is already there in humankind to live a happy, peaceful life. And when we do this, our reassignment can be bigger than just our own experience. It can be larger than what we ever knew it could be before, and it can be glorious. And it's amazing because we can get and a lot of different teachings, even ancient teachings, pass down the understanding that our spirit is trapped in this body, and that the body is evil, the flesh is corrupt. If you have any Judeo-Christian teaching or experience, maybe that sounds familiar. The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. But the truth is that, but also I want to say that there is a teaching and understanding that more accurately could be expressed by the word ego or adversary. Our own personal enemy, our own struggle that we are creating for ourselves based on our own understanding of who we are and what this life is about. So what can happen is that we can come to a misunderstanding. We can misunderstand the perception because and language has changed. It's changed so many times. Things that I said, I might say something's cool, and I mean that it's positive. I like it. I'm enjoying it, and that may mean something completely different to people today. For a while there was the saying that if you, instead of saying something was cool, an equivalent would say, people would say, well, that's sick. And to me, since I'm an entire advocate of health and restoring our health to ourselves, I just couldn't ever accept that or or use that that crossed my line. But when some people said that, they meant something cool. What they meant was something that was good, and they were living from the realm of extremes. Saying it's so good, that it passed, through. It went so far into the extreme that it made it around to the other side. It made like a circle. At least that's what I think they meant. But Anyway, when we have the understanding of language, and we look back and we discover some of these assignments, maybe we can find out that, there's some assignments that we're fulfilling in our lives that, or there's some assignments that are going on and we didn't even know it. We didn't even recognize it. But just by simply having an awareness of the word assignment and the understanding of assignment, we can look into our own being and we can find, places where there are instructions that we are fulfilling in ourselves, to ourselves, through ourselves, that are simply not beneficial. And we can go in there and we can reassign them. And it isn't difficult. It's simply just, being aware and realizing that you do that and just say, I'm just not going to do that. And just make the conscious decision that, I'm going to do the opposite. And what happens is that the next time you find yourself unconsciously doing a previous assignment or acting out a previous assignment, you'll recognize that you're doing it, you'll be aware of it, and then you can be happy about it. You can be joyful. You can be joyful that you found it and that you recognized it. And some place where people stumble is, falling into victimhood, getting upset. Maybe these assignments represent hurt memories, memories of being hurt. Memories of times when something went wrong or somebody said something that hurt you, something that offended you, and so we certainly don't want to act like that is just trivial. Of course, it was an experience that you experienced, and it was wrong. Yeah, they shouldn't have said that. It should not have happened. Anything that was harmful or toxic or hurtful. That isn't what you were meant to have. That's not what you were meant to experience. And let me just, be the one to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that happened to you. I wish it never happened. And, I'm sorry that happened to you. And let's reassign you. Let's give a new purpose. Let's give a new meaning. Let's give a new understanding. And the power of forgiveness that has been a little bit twisted, corrupted over the generations is, that when you forgive, it's a gift that you give yourself because you release yourself from the moment. It doesn't mean that what was done was right, that it's okay, and that anybody can just step on your feet or walk over you anytime that they want, and you just have to act like it's all okay. That's not what it means. It's not okay for us to harm each other. It's not okay for us to offend each other. It's not okay for us to hurt each other in any way. That's not okay. That's not what we were created for. That's not what this experience on the earth is intended for. But forgiveness is a power that we give ourselves to be released from that hurt, from that offense. And, when we're released from it, it doesn't follow us into the future. It doesn't tell us who we are. It doesn't affect who we are. And it doesn't have any place to manifest in our life anymore. That's the true power of forgiveness. It's something that we give to ourselves. And when we give it to ourselves and we're released from low energy, when we're released from low moments, when we're released from bad memories, from dark memories, from hurtful things that happen to us, when we're released to those, we're released from that darkness, from that negativity, into its opposite, into the light, into the lightness, into an easiness. And then instead of, having something weigh down heavy upon our shoulders or heavy upon our chest, we're light. And we can feel just an easy, wonderful, deep breath, deep breathing lifestyle, an experience that is happy, healthy, loving, good, kind, peaceful, and joyful, and simply a better way of living. So when we recognize that there may be a negative assignment, a harmful assignment, a toxic assignment that we put our signature to and subconsciously started to live out and fulfill in our lives. When we recognize that, we can take that contract, tear it up. We can use the energetic power of our hands to create a powerful energy field, a mini sun between our hands. We can suspend that contract in midair and incinerate it with the power of our positive intention. Incinerate it is a wonderful visualization so that we can send the signal, we can send the understanding, we can send the message to our subconscious that that simply doesn't exist anymore. And now we have a new assignment. And what a blessing it is to have an assignment that is our true, authentic self. That is our original programming, our original wiring, our original true spiritual self. We are a spirit, we have a soul, and we live in a body. And that whole entire experience is wrapped up in the intention to be good and to have good, to be a good influence, to be a kind, loving influence, to experience deep shalom, deep peace. It's the sound of the Om. Om. In our deep being, in the very depth of who we are, in our place of true comfort, true relaxation, true peace, true ease, the opposite of dis-ease, and true shalom, our true authentic self. And it's such a wonderful, wonderful feeling to experience that wonderful, blessed energy of being absolutely free in all areas of being. Love, peace, blessing to you and your family in abundance. Ginothi Seyutan. Namaste.